Because I visited Enmore last week, Saturday, and I mean, you read it in the papers, but I was so taken back by the level of decline in Enmore and the estate. For example, when I went there, I saw all the ponds. Remember, I work on a sugar estate. I understand the dynamics. I had to do 1 year training, a month in every section of a sugar estate. And I've seen the ponds deteriorating in the canals and weed growing over the ponds. I mean, you're closing a sugar estate. What you should do, take the ponds, lift them up, clean them, preserve them. I've seen 53 New Holland brand new tractors, never worked. The tires just deteriorating. I've seen 3 new harvesters. Each one cost $85 million, just sitting there. Nothing at all. I mean, we give the responsibility to a special unit, headed by people who don't understand sugar, to sell the estate or to reorganize it. Pay millions of dollars on a study, which I could go there and sit with them in a few hours and brief them what to do. You know, you have to address things in a business-like manner, and that is the tale of all of the other estates. Our plan, as indicated before, is to see how we can lift the communities around there through various initiatives by giving them lands so that they can have a livelihood. They can now do agricultural production with us, government, paying for the marketing support and product development, and so that a group of farmers can plant a specific crop, let's say coconut or do poultry or these kind of things, and we provide the technical initiative to ensure that there's proper marketing of that. Export marketing, because remember, our population is so small. So those are the initiatives we'll take. Sadly, after Wales was closed, after they closed Wales, they gave the land to some of the big friends, you know, thousands of acres, which should have gone to the people of Wales so that they can start their own business. A lot of the rice farmers, through land acquisition, started their rice cultivation, and that has been the basis of the survival of those communities for close to a century. And we can do the same with the farmers there. They are very hardworking people, and we need, you see, they close the estate without a plan. You don't just close the estate, because when you close it, you have deterioration of the cultivation, of the drainage and irrigation systems. It's very difficult to bring back. I know one party said they're going to reopen the estate, which is impractical, right? It's not possible, financially and otherwise, because of the level of degradation that takes place since then. But APNU had 3 years after they got in, and when Gaisuku said, look, we are bankrupt, right? The chairman for Gaisuku told them, we don't have money, we are bankrupt. They had 3 years before they closed those estates to invite investors, right? But what they did, this special unit that has no experience in reorganization of companies, right? Put it out. They had a lot of investors, never evaluated this because of the political instruction that is needed for anybody to do anything in this country. Instead of doing that, we would have engaged a Wall Street firm like Merrill Lynch or one of the big institutional firms there, financial firms, that has the international reach and the financing, right? To take each one of those estates. I was told DDL went to take Enmore. And because of the political direction that has to be given, and the system and the bureaucracy itself, by the time they got down to making that decision, the cultivations were already dilapidated. All the canes were already lying down and got deteriorated, and so So, I mean, this is the problem we have. I mentioned the tractors and the harvesters, right? How could that have happened? The first thing before closure, make a checklist what you have to do. Send back those tractors to the dealer. Get back your money or get 80% of the money back. They will check with the rice farmers, they would have sold those. Check in other countries who need a harvester. It's very expensive, $85 million. I mean, my God, because it's not their money, they don't care. You see? We see the sufferings, we see the cry of people in rural Guyana, and we are shocked. We ourselves want to cry sometime. We went to New Amsterdam and see the roads and the potholes and the lack of sanitation and all these kind of things, you know. I mean, it's totally neglect. You name one industry since independence that has been developed in this country that didn't exist there then. When they closed bauxite, they never created an alternative industry to cushion the effects of New Amsterdam and that section of East Berbice. Nothing at all. Now they closed sugar, they have no plan and nothing to cushion the effects of that. How you can do that? The people of Enmore that I talked to, they say, boss, we had our furniture taken away by courts. You know, we had loans, we had to stop sending our kids to private schools. I mean, it's such a depression there. And we have the big boys spending $10 billion at the Ministry of Presidency. That's untenable. That's the thing why Nigel and I decided, look, we're gonna come here to provide a voice to the people of this country. You know, from what I know of sugar, and when time has elapsed and you neglect the cultivation, and though, you know, it's not possible to bring it back. It's like you have to replant everything. First of all, what you have to do, you got to clean all the drainage canals. You see trees growing in those canals at Enmore, right? The other thing, you got to buy ponds to transport the cane. You first got to plant the cane. Then you got to take a year to get the crop, right? When you get the crop, then you got to process it. In the meantime, you got to service the factory. You have a whole of infrastructure to do. Dams, roadways, you know. And it's, from my business experience, that is impractical. And I would say, I mean, without any apology, they are trying to lie to the people again. You cannot close a sugar estate and after a year open that sugar estate. It's impossible. And the reason, one of the reasons DDL didn't go through with the deal was that when they inspect the cultivation, there was nothing they could have done other than spending billions and billions. Now, how you will finance those billions, right? Focus Gaisuko's resources to make the current estates profitable. And understand just today that the workers at Albion haven't been paid for 2 weeks now, right? So you tell me, why would you reopen an estate and the current estate can't pay the bills, right? So, I mean, is it practical? They're basically lying, and they have this habit of lying all the years. Every election they come and lie. 50,000 jobs, and by some coincidence, 50,000 house lots. I mean, how that is possible? You know, our alternative to those estates, as I mentioned there, to ensure that we return the existing estates to profitability through reorganization, through diversification. They had a long time since the 70s to have cogeneration in all sugar estates. Albion could produce alone 20 megawatt, and the demand in East Berbice is 18 megawatt. You can power East Berbice by cogeneration in Albion. But you know what's the crux of it? Is the leadership, the lack of business experience that we bring to the table. They build Skeldon, $200 million. They could have taken $10 million and improved all the estates. All the 10 estates could have been improved with $10 million. rather than one colossal big giant that is a white elephant now. They didn't know where they would get a cane, but $200 million. Then the other problem, the contractor they use. The Chinese are not known to be builders of sugar estates. Use the Indians, the Brazilians, the Americans. I mean, who made that They were warned for more than a year or 2 years in the media by different people, but yet the politics of the day, one man making the decisions. Now, we mentioned the other day the support to Gaisuku and GPL over the last 10 years was $100 billion, right? It shows you the problem with leadership of the country. We elect leaders who have no business experience, right? And the failure in the schools and in the rural communities, and the story of Gaisuku is a failure of leadership. People are in leadership position, have no business experience. And that $100 million that was given bailouts to public corporations, two public corporations, right? Could have built that Demerara Bridge, because that's $500 million US. It could have built 3 bridges. You understand what I'm saying? The people of this country has to understand now, this is a crucial time. The mismanagement and the wanton wastage of successful administration since 1992, if that prevail, there's no hope. And if they use the same pattern to use our oil money, the oil will go out and we'll have nothing to show for it. The time is now. I hope that addresses your question. But you can't reopen sugar estate. Don't bother with the foolishness they're talking about.